What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
Welcome to Football Game Plans Talking with TD. I'm your host, Teron Davenport.
Okay, Talking with TD, the series continues. This is a guy that you may not know about him now, but at some point in the near future, you're going to know who we're talking to right now. You're going to know, you're going to see his name. We're going to bring in a guy who is somebody that will project into the NFL, somebody that, you know, played a different sport, but is going to be a solid NFL player. We're going to go to Bemidji State, and we're going to talk to Brock Lutes. Brock, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing really well, man. You know, it's really interesting when guys like yourself come along, you know, guys who are athletes that, you know, have the ability to play multiple sports. You're a guy back in high school, you were all-state in Oregon in football and basketball. So just tell me a little bit about your athletic ability and how you project to get into the NFL.
Well, in high school, I just loved both sports about the same. So I was getting interest from schools in basketball and football. And I originally signed to Washington State because of some grade issues. I wasn't able to get in, so my best route for me was to play basketball. And so here I am now, transferring back to the NFL.
Nice. Now, you had some workouts, and one of the things that's well documented is your 40-inch vertical, your 10.4 broad jump. What did you weigh in at? Talk about your body, your build, and where you project into the NFL. Let the listeners know.
Well, during those workouts, I was about 220 because I was in a basketball body. But right now, we're about up to 230, getting back into that football body. And so I think now just the explosiveness and everything will still be there, with just a little more strength. And my vert is still 40 and I'm still moving the same.
And one of the things that a lot of people look at, you know, for guys that are in your position, you know, projecting into a position in the NFL, they look at the way basketball transfers onto the football field. Obviously, Julius Thomas is a guy. You know, you got Jimmy Graham, Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, and the list goes on and on. Talk about how you're able to use your skills that you've acquired on the basketball court, playing in the paint and things like that. Talk about how that projects to the NFL, to your position.
Well, I think playing a tight end with all the routes running, I think my footwork will translate over in my lateral speed. So all that stuff, in my hands, light hands catching the ball, I think all that stuff will translate really well over to the NFL.
Now, talk about how boxing out and going up to get a rebound is a lot similar to making a contested catch.
Well, it's all in the hips and leg strength. So boxing a big 6'8" or 7-footer down low out is kind of like going up for a ball, except it might be a little easier with a small corner.
There you go. Now, as far as on the football field, do you see yourself as more of an inline tight end, a guy with your hand in the dirt, or you see yourself playing the flex position? What type of contribution can you make on the football field, and where?
I think I could bring both to the team, and whatever the coach wants me to do, I think I can split out wide if he needs me to, and I think I can be in the trenches and block anyone.
At 6'4", with a 40-inch vertical, obviously there's a large catching radius. What about in the red zone? How can you help a team score touchdowns from 20 yards in?
Well, I think I could be super physical with any corner, and I think if a quarterback throws up high, I think I have the ability to go up and get it.
Yeah, I definitely follow you on there. And like you said, it's just like boxing out a 6'8" guy, except for these guys are a lot smaller. Just talk about, so what's going on with you now? You have a pro day coming up, or when are your workouts? Tell me a little bit about that whole dynamic that you have going on, working your way towards the draft.
Yes, I got a pro day on April 1st coming up, and I'm actually here on the phone with my strength and conditioning coach, so you can talk to him a little bit too. And we're just doing workouts basically every day now, getting my strength, explosiveness, quickness, everything up to par.
So what do you project on the bench? How many reps do you see yourself getting on there?
Hey, this is Dave Sherlowski. I'm the strength and conditioning coach. I work with about 30 NFL players. You want me to answer some of these questions, or you want Brock to answer that?
Oh, you guys both could answer them. It's all good.
Yeah, so right now, again, the translation back from basketball to football, Brock's a little bit of an anomaly. I'm sure you can appreciate that with his vert. His 40 speed and his shuttle times are off the charts right now. We're building his upper body strength back in there. I think he'll be in the teens on the bench at 2.25. He's already gained 30% back in a month we've been together, and we've just started. He's already over 230 pounds. Will be about 235 by the first, and he'll hit the NFL camp right around 245.
Nice.
So we're hoping to get his 40 speed, 40 time down in the 4.6s.
Okay.
I don't think there'll be any issue there.
So talk a little bit about what you're doing just to allow him to keep his agility and footwork, his speed, with the extra weight that he's gaining back.
So I work with Anthony Thomas, Michael James, Kenyon Barner. I tend to work with a lot of backs, and we're basically doing the same exact strength and conditioning that we would with a half or a full back. And when I say that, we're doing a lot of, like today, Brock's workout was 400 yards of uphill lunging, 400 yards of uphill dynamic walk, which is all 1 foot explosive. And then he drug a 250-pound tire 250 yards, carried it 250 yards, and flipped it for 250 yards. That was our light workout day. 2 days ago, he moved over 100,000 pounds of tires and did, I would say, close to 500 crunches. So what we're doing is we're going back and forth. I'm actually training him. You're going to find this ironic, like a UFC fighter. I work with a lot of fighters. We're doing full body core. He's got insane bone structure. I mean, his ankle bone is about as thick as my neck, and he's just built like a tree trunk. I mean, I've only come across one other person like him, and that's Adrian.
Wow. Nice. So, yeah, I appreciate that. See, I just want to get a little more with Brock just about high school, and thanks a lot for coming on.
Oh, yes, yeah, I'm back here.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, so just as far as high school, you had mentioned you got some D1 offers for football and basketball. You had to commit to Washington State. What were some other schools that were looking at you?
Some local schools. Oregon State was obviously looking at me. Idaho. I took a visit to UCLA and went to one of their games for football, and then basketball. There was kind of the same, just all the Portland State, Oregon State, and all those kind of schools around me.
Okay, cool. Now, growing up, what were some teams what team did you like, if there was one, and just any particular players that you liked? I know you played, offense and defense in high school, so I'm sure there had to be somebody that you liked to watch.
Right. Well, I used to go to all the Oregon games, being an Oregon kid, and I loved watching Jeremiah Johnson as a running back. I loved watching Ed Dixon as a tight end. Dante Rosario, I liked watching him as a tight end. And then, I mean, I'm not a quarterback, but I loved watching Dennis Dixon. He was an animal out there.
There you go. So any particular pro team that you rooted for growing up?
No, not really. I mean, kind of the closest team to me was the Seahawks. So, I always watched the Seahawks and the 49ers games. Those were kind of the closest teams to me, but no really team really jumped out to me.
Okay, cool. And you said your pro day is April 1st. Where is that going to be held?
That's going to be held at Portland State.
Okay, and have you and your agency, have they been in contact with teams that are going to come and take a look at you?
Yes, sir. I think I've been talking to about nine teams right now.
Right. And I know one of the teams is a team that you mentioned as a team that was close to you, and that would be the 49ers, correct?
Right, yes, sir.
There you go. So, hey, man, I wish you the best. Definitely want to get back with you and just see how things are going after your pro day and as we get closer to the draft. So I appreciate you coming on, Brock, and definitely take care. Keep grinding. Hearing good things about you, so keep pushing and make this transition.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Take it easy.
That wraps up this edition of Talking with TD. Be sure to check out all of my interview segments at footballgameplan.com/talkingwithtd. If you have any questions or people you want me to sit down with, hit me up on Twitter at @TDavenport_NFL.